What's up YouTube, MXDAO, this is how it's going down. In this episode, I'll be bringing to you 4 pieces of crypto news. So we're going to be talking about the US Senate wanting to create a digital dollar, as well as Bitcoin potentially being the new Apple. And also Visa have been working with a startup called Zap. So if you find any of that stuff interesting, then watch this video and yeah, let's get into it. So I just want to say first of all, I've lost a subscriber.
You've got no friends?
I'm sorry guys, I haven't been so consistent, so I'll increase my workload. And to the subscriber who I've lost, can you come back?
Well, you want some?
Huh? Please?
You want some? I'll give it you.
Alright, so first piece of news, we're going to look at the Coin360 website. So as you can see here, most of the cryptos are in the green, so they've had a nice recovery. You can see Bitcoin has gone up by 1.59%. It was previously trading for around $9,000. Ethereum's gone up around 3% as well. Most of them have gone up. So looking at CoinGecko.com, you can see that the biggest gainers have been Bytom, Cosmos, 0x, Bancor, Swissborg, and Aave. So out of these, top performing assets, there's a couple that I would recommend, but I'll probably make a video on that later on. I also wanted to mention Crypto.com. It's been doing phenomenally well for me, guys. I invested around 31st of May, and since then it's gone up around 32%. So if you guys aren't too familiar, then check out their website, check out their app, and you can stake. So essentially you can earn 16% on your cryptocurrency while it's also going up in value. I've owned Crypto.com for at least a month now, so definitely check that out, guys. So let's get into the video. The US Senate has been debating whether to create a digital dollar or not. They've also been linked with a mysterious Bitcoin fund, which is over $190 million, or roughly around that price. So let's get into it. The near-term future may be brighter for Ether, which is at the forefront of decentralized finance. If you guys don't know, I made a video on decentralized finance, so check that out here or here. And there's essentially going to be a decentralized finance explosion. I've explained that in previous videos, with platforms that can be built on this blockchain, especially the specialized DeFi tokens that have done even better than Bitcoin in the last 3 months, although this correlation in this segment could help the Bitcoin rally again. Definitely good news, guys. So blockchain on Capitol Hill, the Senate Banking Committee held a hearing on the future of the digital dollar on Tuesday, as competition with China is motivating lawmakers to move forward. If you guys don't know, I made a video on the digital Chinese yuan, so check that out. The US has to keep earning that place in the global payment system. It has to be better than Bitcoin, and it has to be better than the digital one, Senator Tom said, the former CFTC chairman. Essentially, Chris John Carlo from the National Congress said to embrace change, adding that Darwin said the most adaptable survive. There's still some stumbling blocks around the privacy implementation and equity that have to be sorted out before the digital dollar can be launched, but if Congress and crypto proponents are patient and willing to compromise, then it might represent a breakthrough and acceptance and adoption that advocates have been striving to achieve for a while. Also, I said that there's been a $190 million Bitcoin fund. So the New York Digital Investment Group disclosed an SEC filing on Tuesday that it closed a $190 million Bitcoin fund with 24 unnamed investors. It closed a similarly named Bitcoin fund worth $140 million in May, making the NYDIG quietly one of the largest institutional investors in Bitcoin in the US. Absolutely crazy, guys. Absolutely crazy news. So next piece of news that we have is the Bitcoin startup Zap is working with Visa. If you guys don't know Visa are a payments system, and they essentially run. If you think of any type of card, it's mostly Visa or MasterCard, and they're working with Bitcoin. So essentially, this will make the adoption curve a lot easier. And yeah, let's just get into the article. So Lightning developer and Zap co-founder Zach Marlows announced Thursday his startup Strike product, which allows people to receive Bitcoin as dollars via direct bank deposits, is finally entering public beta. That's very good news. A Visa card is also in the works. Zap Inc. has joined the Visa's Fast Track program. Visa works with members of the Fast Track program to help them go to markets in the most efficient way possible, providing them with support and resources every step of the way. He said that his primary focus of this year is launching the Strike card for his consumer app users and integrating Visa Direct into the consumer app, which is the program that makes Venmo payments so fast. So there's no date yet for the up and coming Strike card. So this is good for Visa, this is good for Bitcoin. If you guys don't want to invest in Bitcoin itself, then you can invest in Visa, because this will definitely have a knock-on effect for the prices of both Visa and Bitcoin. So whichever you're most comfortable with, I would suggest possibly investing in, as well as crypto.com. Not personal advice, not financial advice or whatever. It's just based on my previous investments and what's been doing well for me. Since I've invested in crypto.com, I've gained £70 just from 1 month's investment. So that's like around 20% of what I invested. So it's definitely worth it. So there are some privacy perks. Strike offers a public identifier that is not associated with one's personal Bitcoin address. Instead, the startup manages these wallet addresses. This means that someone can pay content directors directly, for example, without having to reveal their personal information to each other. So you wouldn't have to put your name, essentially all the details that you put online when you're making a payment, like name, address, all of that. You won't have to do that. You can just send Bitcoin and it'll be, I guess, converted into dollars. So far the Strike setup is mostly used for small businesses and their customers. One such user, a coder and a US Army veteran named Rick in Colorado, uses Strike to purchase medicine to help with his seizures. So as you can see, guys, there is real world use case there. Another user goes by Tyler, buys gift cards with Strike. So it's definitely gaining adoption. And tax? Huh? Next article. Bitcoin is the new Apple. How the Bitcoin price could reach $60,000 by 2023. So Bitcoin hangs near the chasm of the adoption curve as its price looks similar to Apple stock in the 2018 year before it broke out with a 520% rally. So let's just quickly go over this article. In 1962, socialist Everett Rogers published the well-known book Diffusion of Innovations, which he classified consumers in the following 5 groups: innovators, early adopters, early majority, late majority, and laggards. So essentially, with every market cycle, this just repeats. So I would say we're somewhere here in the cycle between innovators and early adopters. When we see the Bitcoin price reach its all-time high, I guess we'd become the early majority. I'm not too sure, but I just think it's a good resource and reference. The graphic flawlessly describes how each group's psychological profile reflects the consumer's habits and how they approach innovative products and services. One of the most important areas to note is that the clear breaking point known as the chasm. So yeah, I guess the chasm would be the all-time high of Bitcoin. So yeah, I definitely would say we're either between innovators and early adopters. I guess if you bought Bitcoin when it dipped around 3K, then you'd be classed as an innovator, and yeah, but that's just my two cents. Even though smartphones are now a household name, the growth over the first 2 years of this industry averaged a mere 20%. Over the subsequent 5 years, a 50% growth rate indicated that the technology had moved to a much wider group of users. That's definitely good news, guys. As we know, Bitcoin doesn't really have and it's definitely got a lot of room to penetrate and grow, so that's very, very good. Looking at the crypto fear and greed index, we are currently at a 40, so that could potentially be a good time to buy. If you guys don't know about the crypto fear and greed index, then essentially extreme fear can be a sign that investors are too worried and could be a good buying opportunity. And when investors are getting too greedy, that could mean the market is due for a correction. So yeah, we've seen that already. Bitcoin's been maintaining its price, and in comparison to its previous trading prices, it is quite low, so potentially would be a good time to advise. Not financial advice, just my opinion. So crypto firm CEO went into hiding after claims that 2,000 investors were defrauded. 419. This motherfucker tried to hide. He thought he wouldn't be found.
You think you can do this to me?
You jackass, you fool, you donkey, idiots. Sorry guys, it's the African side taking over. So Willie Breed, CEO of cryptocurrency investment firm Vault Age Solutions, has been officially declared bankrupt while on the run from angry investors. Shit, man, goddamn, jackass. And Breed, who is suspected of defrauding over 2,000 investors, was handed a sequestration order by Guten High Court in Pretoria on Friday. A sequestration order is an order delivered by a court which forces a debtor into bankruptcy. Damn, son. Damn. Shit. So the order comes after Breed went into hiding from upset investors who were seeking the return of around 277 million South African rand, which is roughly around $16.3 million or maybe around 14 million pounds. He was discovered by investigators hiding in a guest house in the Silver Lakes estate in Pretoria, and a number of electronic devices were seized, including a laptop and a Ledger Nano hardware wallet, which is a storing device for cryptocurrencies. The sequestration order resulted from a court application from one of the firm's biggest investors, Simon Dix, who said he owed 7.5 million rand, which is almost $500,000. That's absolutely nuts, guys. These 419ers never stop. Also, guys, there's been a lot of fake fucking YouTubers and scammers online saying, oh, there's a 5,000 Bitcoin giveaway. If you see that, don't click on it. Do not fall for it. Report it, and yeah, just stay away from it. I don't want you guys to get scammed. We're trying to accumulate money, not lose it. Anyway, that's been the video. Hope you've liked it, and yeah, just like and subscribe if you got any value from it. That's been the video. Hope you've liked it. Like and subscribe if you got any value from it. See you soon, guys. Bye.